Jesus in a flippin' moo-moo, Quinn! What the hell happened? Quinn Morris's stunned eyes flew to her college study partner and much younger friend Ingrid Lawson's face, crimson from the heat of the Grecian day. Hysteria threatened to take over, forcing Quinn to put a hand to her chest to catch her breath before mumbling, "Something?" Quinn winced when Ingrid lifted a finger and pointed it directly at her. The digit trembled a little as it silently circled Quinn's chest area. Her mouth opened, then snapped shut, as though she couldn't quite put into words what she was seeing. Quinn nodded in agreement because, yeah. Holy shit. Plucking at the front of her billowy white blouse, the one she'd specifically picked for this trip because it looked like it was straight off the back of some 18th century poet, she looked down into it. Then she gazed upon her nearly shredded bra and gasped. The sound of her shock echoed off the Parthenon columns and reverberated in her ears. Then she looked once more and gulped. Oh dear. Ingrid fisted her hands and brought them to her forehead, shaking her head as though she were trying to shake off some terrible memory. Which was odd. When she looked back up at Quinn, her eyes, hidden beneath the dark Gothic makeup she favored, bulged from her head. Her words burst out of her mouth like a ball from a cannon. "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God! Boobs! Big boobies!" she shrieked, her multicolored mohawk bending in the humid breeze. Quinn nodded numbly, a hot wind swishing her flirty skirt around her ankles. So big. Ingrid clutched at the straps on her backpack, her voice shaky. "How did this happen?" I don't exactly know. But I can tell you one thing for sure. They're no longer the size of crab apples. In fact, they're a lot more like Shauna Sutter's cantaloupes now, don't you think? Even in horror, Ingrid managed to scrunch her face up in distaste. Don't even mention that woman's name at a time like this. No one, and I mean no one, wants to be like Shauna Sutter or her stupid cantaloupes. Quinn shrugged a little, because even in their shared horror, the truth was the truth. But you have to admit, she has really nice cantaloupes. Igor seems to think so anyway. Igor, her cheating, lying, bottom-feeding, almost fiancé, and the very reason she was here on her dream trip to Greece with Ingrid instead of him, now belonged to Shauna Cantaloupe's Sutter. Lock, stock, and brainless banter. "Igor is a bag of dicks," Ingrid yelped. "Forget about him and that stupid, vapid, silicone-sporting Shauna, and explain why you're literally sparkling like a bunch of rhinestones on some cheap homemade beauty contestant dress." Quinn's eyes flew to her hands and forearms, but she paused. "Do you think it looks cheap?" "As sparkling goes, I think it's sort of glowy and ethereal." "Sort of." Ingrid scoffed her impatience, letting her hands slap her thighs. "Is that really the point here, Quinn?" She took another deep breath, inhaling the hot air and realizing, no, that wasn't the point at all. She backtracked in her mind, trying to remember how this had all gone down. "Remember that little old lady on the tour bus on the way here?" Ingrid nodded and wrinkled her nose. "The one who smelled like a goat?" "Uh-huh. But it's not her fault. She raises them to sell their milk. A girl's got to make a living. Anyway, did you hear the story she told me about there being a golden apple etched in one of the Parthenon's columns?" Ingrid's breathing hitched, her lower lip, glossed to the max, curled inward. "Was that before or after the anus head called you to ask where his nostril clippers were? I can't even believe the size of that dick's clangers." Enormous. Igor's clangers were enormous. So was his anus head. I know, right? Especially seeing as he was doing it from between the very sheets we used our Bed Bath & Beyond 50% off coupon for. Ingrid's eyes narrowed, the crinkle of her leather spike-studded vest crackling when she threw her arms up in the air. "Did he actually tell you he was in bed with that cantaloupe trollop?" Quinn shook her head. letting her straw bag fall to the ground.